Lucky me and lucky you. I'm going to teach you how to make the most delicious carrot souffle, and it's so easy to make. Sally, that girl, in the kitchen. Hi everyone, and welcome to another episode of Sally, that girl, in the kitchen. In today's episode, I'm going to teach you how to make a carrot souffle that is so delicious. You're not going to believe just how easy it is to put together. So I recently visited Atlanta and I had this souffle, went out to dinner at some friend's house, and this particular family and their close friends, they all seem to make this souffle, and they were kind enough to share the recipe with me because I was absolutely obsessed with it. It was so delicious. It went so well with everything, and we're keeping it non-dairy, so you can really serve it as a side dish with whatever you're serving for dinner. And I'm telling you, it is so crazy good. I am super excited to teach you how to make it. So let's not wait another second and let's get started. For today's recipe, you will need 1 3/4 pounds, in other words, 28 ounces of baby carrots, 3 large eggs, 8 tablespoons, which is 1 stick, of non-dairy vegan margarine, a parve margarine, which should be at room temperature. If you want to keep this recipe dairy, then you can go ahead and use butter instead, but I'm going to go with the non-dairy version. 1 1/2 teaspoons of pure vanilla extract, 1 cup of sugar, 1 1/2 teaspoons of baking powder, 2 tablespoons of all-purpose flour, some non-stick cooking spray, and some powdered sugar to taste. You will also need some dry measuring cups, some measuring spoons, either a wet measuring cup or a small bowl, a medium-sized pot with a lid, and a steamer insert if you're going to steam your carrots. If not, of course, you can boil them instead and then just drain off the water. You're going to need a blender, and I'm using a powdered sugar shaker, but if you don't have one, you can use a small fine mesh sieve instead, or you can visit my Sally, that girl in the kitchen Amazon store and pick one up there. They are super convenient. You'll also need either a wooden spoon or a silicone spoon, a 9 by 13 baking dish, a medium-sized bowl, and some oven mitts. So now that we have all of our ingredients and tools together, let's get started. So the first thing you're going to want to do is grab a medium-sized pot and add a little water to the bottom of it, because I'm going to be using a steamer basket. So you just need a little bit of water to create that steam. And as I said earlier, if you don't have a steamer basket, you can just boil your carrots instead and then just drain them off real well. So I'm going to add my carrots right into the basket, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to just spread them out a little, just so I can reach that little pin in the center when it's time to remove them. And then I'm going to turn my heat on to medium, and I'm going to cover my pot because I want these to steam, and I'm going to set a 15-minute timer because on my stove on medium, that's all it should take for these to steam. And now would be a good time to also preheat your oven to 350 degrees, making sure you have a rack placed in the center. So now I'm going to crack 3 large eggs, and I'm cracking them into a wet measuring cup because it's going to be easy to pour from there. And I'm going to be using this cup twice, but if you don't have one, you can use a bowl. And then I'm just going to pour those right into my blender and put my lid on. And then I'm just going to run the blender for a few minutes. I'm just going to pulse it a few times and just let it run a bit, because what I'm looking to do is to add air into these eggs. I'm whipping air into the eggs, and that's really just going to take no more than a minute or two. I want them frothy, and I want the color to lighten up just a bit. And then they are going to make our souffle absolutely beautiful. So this is what they should look like. The top is going to be foamy, and that's perfect. So you're just going to pour that right back into that measuring cup or bowl, and we're going to set that aside for now. Then what we're going to do is rinse it out because we're going to use this blender again. And now it's been 15 minutes and my carrots are steamed and ready to go. So I'm going to just turn off my stove, and then I'm going to remove the steamer basket, and I'm going to transfer those beautiful, look at that color, orange, gorgeous carrots into a bowl and just let them release just a touch of that steam. And so after just a minute or two, see, I'm testing these. They're beautiful. They're fork tender, not falling apart, but definitely tender. So I'm going to add them right into the cup of my blender. And yes, they're still warm, but that's exactly what we want. And then we're just going to add them all right in. And then once they're in, I'm going to add my 8 tablespoons of vegan or parve margarine and my 1.5 teaspoons of pure vanilla extract. And then before I actually run my blender, I like to come in with my wooden spoon and I just kind of break down that margarine that's already room temperature, and it's just going to start to melt with the heat of the carrots, and that's going to allow this to blend easily. So then I'm going to start pulsing, and it's just going to take a minute or two, and it's just going to start breaking down those carrots and integrating that margarine and that vanilla. And you don't have to go all the way at this point, because when we add the rest of the ingredients, we will be able to continue to blend these easily. So now I'm going to go ahead and add my cup of sugar, my 1.5 teaspoons of baking powder, and 2 tablespoons of all-purpose flour. And then once again, I come in with my wooden spoon and I just kind of help it along. I help mix it in a bit. And now we're going to add those beautiful frothy eggs that we whipped up early on. We're just going to add those right in. And this is really going to help everything blend together. The moisture is really going to help us at this point. And then what we're going to do is just mix it in just a little bit, and then we're going to go ahead and put our lid back on our blender, and then we're just going to continue to blend this all together. So at this point, we'll blend it for another minute or two, and it's just going to become this creamy, beautiful orange mixture, which will be our carrot souffle once we bake it. It's going to be phenomenal. I'm telling you, do not underestimate how delicious this souffle is going to be. It's really, really that good. So let me show you. See, the texture here is still a little bit lumpy, so I want to go just a little bit further. I want it smooth, not completely liquid, but I definitely want it a little smoother. So now let's take another peek, and I'm going to show you what the texture I'm looking for is. See, here we are good. It's still slightly chunky, but it's quite creamy at this point. There aren't any large pieces. We're good to go. So now you're going to spray a 9x13 baking dish with some non-stick cooking spray, and then we're going to bring over our blender and we're going to pour that right into our baking dish. And with the help of our wooden spoon, we're going to spread this out and just smoothen out the top. Look how absolutely beautiful it's looking already, and we haven't even baked it yet. It's got this amazing color and it already smells delicious, and it's not even done. So now we're just going to take a moment to admire it, as I always do, before we pop it into the oven on a center rack, and then we set a 60-minute timer, a whole hour, to allow this to bake and get golden and delicious. And after 60 minutes, we're going to bring it out, and look at how amazing it looks. It smells crazy good. I wish you could smell it. The house has this incredible aroma right now. It's just divine. And it's got just a touch of golden brown on top, and the edges have become golden, and they'll be somewhat chewy from the sugars that have caramelized, both the natural sugars in the carrots and the sugar that we've added. It's just going to become so crazy good. No matter how you look at it, it is beautiful and it's going to be absolutely delicious. Okay, I'm having a little fun with the camera. So enough admiring. I'm going to show you how to finish this off so that we can serve ourselves a piece and taste it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my shaker, the powdered sugar shaker. And as I said, if you don't have one, a fine mesh sieve will do, and then just sprinkle your sugar that way. But I love this for powdered sugar because I feel like I can really control where the sugar goes and how much of it I want. I want a fine sprinkling. I want it to just really just be a light coating of that powdered sugar on top, which is really just going to finish this dish off. And I'm telling you, it's a sweet side dish of your dreams, but not too sweet, believe it or not. It is just a perfect balance of flavors. So now, enough with the admiring. It's my turn to take a taste. So you can cut this, of course, into squares, but it's soft and has those chewy edges. So I'm just gonna go ahead and use a spoon to serve myself that corner piece, that piece that everyone is always going after, the corners with that chewy edge. Look at how beautiful the inside is. It's creamy and has that beautiful orange color. I'm just going to kind of square this off and just get a little bit more because I'm really excited to eat this. It's really so good, and I've been dreaming about it ever since I tasted it over in Atlanta. It was so tasty. I couldn't wait to make it for myself and for you guys. So now, let me just show you up close what this looks like. You see that beautiful orange on the inside and that beautiful golden edge and that little sprinkle of powdered sugar on top. It's perfect. It goes so well with savory dishes because it just balances everything out. When you want just a touch of sweetness with your meal, it's just the perfect side. I just can't wait to take a bite. I love this dish, and I'm sure you're going to love it too. Look at how beautiful it is. Perfection. I really believe I did it justice. It's delicious. It's creamy on the inside. It's got that chewy edge. Yeah, that little edge piece just insists on coming with me. Look at how beautiful, golden and tasty it is. The carrot shines through. It is the star of this dish, of course. And those golden bits, just so absolutely delicious, creamy, chewy, all in one. Such a delicious side. And you saw how easy it was to make. It could not have been easier. So good. I've been dreaming of it since I tasted it. And I'm telling you, it does not disappoint. It's just so tasty. I'm just going to continue to eat here as I show you what it looks like. Delicious, so good. You have to try this. So just how great does this carrot souffle look? Obviously, we call it a souffle because we whip up those eggs and it just kind of grows as it's baking and it fills the house with an incredible aroma. And then when it comes out and it settles, it leaves us with a just absolutely delicious dish. It's creamy on the inside, kind of toasty on the top, that little touch of powdered sugar on top. It is so good. If you love a sweet side dish to go along with your savory, you're gonna absolutely love this recipe. Trust me. No, better yet, don't trust me. You're gonna have to try to make this recipe yourself. And of course, if you've enjoyed today's recipe, don't forget to like it, to write a sweet comment, to share it with your friends. It really helps my channel grow when you do that, so thank you so much. And if you're not already following me, find Sally That Girl in the Kitchen on Facebook, Instagram, and on Pinterest. And you can find me as Sally That Girl FL on X, Snapchat, and on TikTok. And of course, don't forget my Sally That Girl in the Kitchen Amazon store. A lot of the tools that I use in my videos, I feature there. So you could always find that by visiting amazon.com/shop/Sally That Girl in the Kitchen with no spaces. But of course, that link is always at the banner of my channel and on my Facebook and Instagram pages to help you get there easier. And so thank you once again for tuning in. I love that you're here with me. I hope you try this recipe. It's super yummy. You're gonna love it. See you next time. Sally, that girl in the kitchen.